How you guys doing? My name's Mindy.
I'm Raj.
I'm Armol, and welcome to Limelight.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Things are about to get crazy. We've been talking about this podcast for a long time. What you're going to watch was the first time that the three of us ever sat together in a room. We didn't know much about each other. And as we learned about each other is what you're going to observe and watch. We're really excited about having open and honest discussions about our communities and about our world. And we really hope you enjoy.
Get ready for the journey.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the podcast. So I guess, we met. It was kind of random.
So by reference, he called me for a fireplace one day. He said, bro, I got your number off such a person. I need a fireplace. I'm like, all right. So back and forth conversations. And he came by the shop one time.
To be honest with you, that day I wasn't feeling great. I'm a chatty person.
Yeah.
I want to talk to everybody. I want to make fun of you. I want to joke around with you. I didn't come in with good spirits that day. My energy was low.
So you weren't chatty? I've never seen you never chatty.
I was not chatty. I was like, dude, I sat in my car.
Yeah.
Outside the shop.
Like, this guy's right here. I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of here, go home.
And I'm sitting in my car. I'm like,
who the fuck this guy think he is? Fucking,
businessman over here?
Some businessman, some fucking rapper, like fuck. Unless he's spending 50 grand on a fireplace, I was like, fuck, hurry it up. They bought a 2,000 fireplace.
Yeah, it's still in the box. If you guys, the camera won't get it. It's literally still in the box. It says, don't accept it until you inspect it.
And I didn't inspect it. It's still wrapped with everything.
The fucking things are still, the strings are still on, and not even the plastic wraps off.
The only reason that some of the strings are falling off is because Pluto chewed them. So
no, because he's trying to fucking,
He's trying to open it up. He wants to get it set up, man. You're too busy fucking dilly-dallying.
That's it. He's like, get the fucking thing installed, right? Get your, he's probing you. He's like, you know what? You have ADHD. Smarten the fuck up.
Yeah.
If I was Labade, go find yourself a girlfriend, right? I'm sick and tired of watching you by yourself.
He's a producer, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what? I didn't even care about the fireplace. Because I didn't care. I was like, this isn't priority in my life right now. I'd rather have a hole in my wall than have a fireplace. And it sounds weird. I don't care. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I open the door. I come in. These guys like, hey, how's it going? What's up? This guy's all, hey, what's up? I'm like, yo, you're me, but I'm not you right now. That's how I felt. And then you had someone there, and I was like, okay, look, like, what's up? Whatever. And you guys start asking me questions.
Yeah.
I decided to open up to you a little bit.
100%.
And I said to you, dude, I think I got ADHD, and I'm trying to figure my life out right now after leaving my job.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, what do you say?
I'm like, dude, I got ADHD too. I got diagnosed like a year ago.
Oh, you actually got diagnosed?
I got diagnosed.
Oh, that's a whole other story. I didn't know that.
Check our healthcare out here. I spent $1,800. Specialists, like 2 nurses interviewing for like 3 hours, psychologist, everything else after that. And they're like, did the test, everything, just to make sure that, hey, yeah, you have ADHD.
What was on the test? What did they ask you, like random questions, or what was it?
Dude, you're asking the wrong guy.
So anyways, you got diagnosed with ADHD. We ended up kind of bonding off that.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shoot, this guy's actually kind of getting my vibe. And I'm like, I look at this guy, I look him up and down, and I go, yeah, this guy's got ADHD. I can tell he's been having a rough day too.
Oh God.
And then we end up talking, and I guess let you tell the story. Yes, what do you remember? I'll correct you if you're wrong.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, you came down that time, we had a conversation about fireplaces, but for like 2 minutes. But after that, it was always like, hey, you know what? This is my address. Come down, check it out. Come give me an estimate. But we just talked about for like an hour and a half, probably.
A while.
About other stuff.
You wanted to go home. You wanted to go home that night.
I wanted to go home, but then after this guy came in, I was like, man, this guy's interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? I love, what's that word? Is it?
Men.
No. Yeah.
Grinder.
My wife is gonna fucking kill me. She's like, you doing this shit on fucking podcast, right? Because I'm very sarcastic all the time.
Yeah.
Because my history, everything else of it, that right? It's always jokes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm nothing against people who are homosexual.
Exactly.
That's their choices of it, that right? No, you know what?
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You're being the one that's politically correct. Though. Let's calm him down.
No, you know what it is.
No, there's nothing against that. I got nothing against that.
Not at all, exactly. Because you know what it is? People think that, hey, listen, it's a choice. It's not a choice. I believe up to today, you're born this way. So if someone says that, hey, listen, they like guys, and that's what they're attracted to, not attracted to this opposite sex, that's not a choice. You are born that way. So this like sort of went into a low sort of.
Well, no, look,
welcome to Mindy's TED Talk, guys.
I just want to say, I don't mind because it just opens up the door for me.
Yeah.
to have more chicks.
Hey, bro.
There's more chicks for me. I'm not joking. It's not a problem.
Less competition.
But then again, it kind of evens out though, right?
Yeah.
Because you have girls that are also into girls, so you kind of lose some, you win some.
Yeah.
But no problem against anybody that's that.
But you know what it is? The guys that are actually gay are the super fit ones. So I was like, get them out of the fucking mix.
Yeah, dude.
Less competition. It's like, thank God, right?
They are It's like, you talk to this girl. Oh yeah, I met this amazing guy, but he's gay. I'm like, yes.
Thank you.
Meet me. I'm Raj. I'm like maybe number 25 on your list, maybe 225. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Whatever.
So anyways, we talked about fireplace. We ended up talking, and I mentioned to you that I wanted to have a podcast. At the time, I actually hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
I had the microphone, I had the camera,
The sun.
I had the lights, but I didn't actually have any content.
Yeah, no content.
And do you remember the moment that you shared with me some information? Any information that maybe we're going to talk about tonight? Do you remember how it came out?
I don't know. You know what? Honestly, dude, that was like a Friday afternoon, I think it was, wasn't it? Was it Friday or
It was a Monday.
No,
On Monday?
No, it wasn't Monday.
It was Friday, then
It was a mini Monday, bro.
You're ready to go
It was
home.
a Friday or Saturday.
It wasn't Saturday because I would. So, okay, Friday. We'll call it Friday, even though it wasn't.
No, you had to go to the States to get some,
This guy remembers.
right?
I went to the States, but the place had been on fire that I went to, so I couldn't even. I was having a shitty day.
Yeah,
I went there. I drove all the way there. I already delayed picking up this package. You know you can do that, right?
Yeah.
You can have stuff shipped to the.
No idea.
P.O. Box.
But it's funny because when I asked this guy, I'm like, hey, bro, I go, what do you do? He's like, I work for Tesla, but now I'm retired.
I didn't say I work for this. I said I'm retired first.
Retired.
Retired.
Yeah, no, because I'm retired. And he's like, sort of, right? I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, this guy's got a podcast. Now I know. Right? I'm the first guest.
So yeah, it was a shitty day. I go there. I go drive all the way to the States, way to the border, go through Nexus. My fingerprint.
Best thing ever. You need Nexus.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think you're
That
eligible
you
for
know,
Nexus.
your Nexus is getting canceled for sure.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, this guy wanted to leave. What was he doing?
Yeah.
So I go all the way there, and they were like, hey, man, we're not going to give you your baggage because our place set on fire. And I couldn't get mad at them because their place set on fire. So I leave, and then I had to go see you. I come to see you, and then you were sitting there. We talked a bunch of stuff, and then he says to me, you know what, Raj, I'm not good with technology. And people say to me all the time, they're not good with technology. Love technology. And he goes, oh, Raj, I barely even know how to use an iPhone. I go, what? You barely know how to use an iPhone? What you like? I'm like, this guy's such a exaggerator.
Yeah.
And then you said something that made my alarm bells go off, but you didn't say the details yet. At that point, you said, I didn't use an iPhone until last year. There was something you said. You said, I didn't use a smartphone till last year. And I go, what? And that's when you said to me, what kind of brought us here? So what can you tell us a little bit about what brought you?
So basically, you know what? First time I seen an iPhone was in end of 2019, beginning of 2020 probably.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a big black sort of spot on my, it's like you're born, get to teens, get to your 20s, and all of a sudden, if you have to have like a map or a calendar, it's like certain day comes, then it's like just black till like 2020. It's
crazy.
So from 2008 till what actually iPhones came out that time.
Yeah.
But they're only available, I believe in the States.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? Back then, everyone had Blackberries.
Yeah, Blackberries.
Blackberries like the big. I had the Blackberry Curve. I thought was so cool. I'm like, I got a Blackberry Curve.
Yeah.
It's like the next gadget.
Encrypted
But,
BBM.
but I didn't care about that. It was more like it was easy to use.
Yeah, the keyboard.
Okay, let's back it up. Why the hell did you not use an iPhone until 2019? Because that doesn't make sense. And for those of you watching right now, you're wondering, 2019, the iPhone has been out for 10, 11 years. Where the hell were you?
I was on a sabbatical in Asia at a monastery.
Oh, a monastery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Must have been awesome.
Doing some soul searching.
Okay, well, how did that soul searching start?
I'm getting grilled right now, right?
No, okay. The reality is, I want to just say before you answer this question, I know very little about this man. I invited him here.
Same here.
I know very little about this man. I invited my good friend Hermol. We want to know more today.
So basically, I was born in Vancouver back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was a year old, we moved to Calgary. Okay. And I moved to Calgary during the time where it's like racism was so prevalent that time.
Yeah.
There was no diversity in Calgary at all. It was Gore, and it wasn't just Gore, it was straight rednecks.
Yeah.
They were not used to colored people at all.
Yeah.
And back then, growing up, I had a Judah on my head.
Oh, okay.
And my dad was super religious. My mom, guys, family, all my cousins, everyone. So we had a lot of sort of, different sort of personalities in our household.
Yeah.
And back then, living in Calgary, my dad became, involved in the temple over there. We lived there for 6 years. And during that time, we lived in the most roughest neighborhood over there now. Actually, the neighborhood we lived back then is the same neighborhood now where all the gang stuff is happening in Calgary.
Oh, shit.
Like you see, like
right now, today.
Well, the last 20 years. It's been crazy. That's where that's a birth. You know how South Van is?
Yeah.
Liberty is? Back then, well, last 20 years, where I grew up, that neighborhood within a 5-minute radius from there is where all the Asian gang violence happens over there.
Wow.
So what happened was I went to a school called Albert Park. Grew up in a household where like my dad, mom, Magad, Rishdars from India, they all came over here. They all stayed with us. That's how it was back then. You're watching TV, everything's over that. Nighttime, you have Gadde in the living room. You got there over here.
Yeah, like multi-family in one house.
Multi-family in one house. And dude, you know what? So much raunak, so much love.
Yeah.
It was awesome. There was honesty, but at the same time, during that time, you see a lot of shit too.
Yeah.
I see my dad get angry all the time. Back then you got jutting up for no reason at all.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, like what the, you don't know any better. You think that's just normal.
How old are you when you're talking about this?
We're like from 3-4 years old.
Holy, okay.
Right? So from 3-4 years old until I was about in grade 3, moved back to Vancouver. And I moved back to Vancouver is when because Khalsa School started in 86.
Yeah.
But before that, went to Sexsmith.
The best school in history, guys. The old brick building, it's gone now.
It's gone now.
It looks like a university now, but before it was OG.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so I was there for like probably about 6 months. Moved in like February 86. Same year as Expo 86. You were born.
Oh, the Expo 86 was crazy from what I've heard.
Yeah. So what happened was, I went to Sexsmith for like 6 months. And dude, even looking back now on my history and looking at report cards from back then, it always said the same thing. So Mindy's a good student, but he gets distracted easily. He distracts other kids from getting an education as well too. So I was always like, you know what? My parents always thought.
Do we have the same report card?
Mine is the exact same.
Yeah,
that's
Do we all the same report card person?
So my parents always thought like, hey, right? That's why I got jutting all the time. Like it's funny. I even told my mom now. I'm like, Mom, I can't believe it. Like all the time. She goes, you know what, Mindy, tera daddy tenu pyar wo karda si, aur sab to baad juttiyan tere piyan si. So dude, but that shit traumatizes you.
Oh, it does for
right?
sure.
People don't realize it's like back then no one knew what ADHD was.
Yeah.
No.
So they just thought, okay, you know what, Iltiya, he's got behavioral issues, right? So you get more juttiyan than the average cousin, right? So my educational wise, I was good in social settings. I got along with people. I loved people. Everyone got along with me. And it was like, oh, Mindy can nice, that's that, right? But when it came to school, it's like, fuck, man, this kid, he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Because I was distracted all the time.
Did they put you in the program, like the ESL program, stuff
No.
like that? No.
No ESL for me, man, right?
Were you in ESL?
Dude, there was a thing
This
that
guy
they...
was in ESL.
No. So VSP actually got screwed for
What's
this.
VSP?
Vancouver School Board.
Okay.
So they got screwed for this, where they essentially put every ethnic minority in ESL for no reason. Yeah. All my friends were in ESL with me, and I'm like, dude, this is a hangout for us. We don't care. We fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But apparently it was a whole thing, like how they purposely did it to just minorities for no reason.
So basically, so came back over here, went to Sexsmith. Dude, it was same old. Calgary was racism all over there.
Yeah.
Grew up.
Oh, Punjabi guys. To Punjabi.
No, Punjabi people. We're the only Punjabi people in that whole area.
Yeah.
We had some people live next door to us.
Just so I know, what was it primarily, dominantly white?
Yeah,
people?
white.
Okay.
Straight rednecks, dude. Like I was raised in an era where we were called Hindus and Pakis.
Yeah.
And
it's like, yo, I'm not even either of those. Call me.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make fun of me, call me by what I am.
It's like C, none of the above, right?
Yeah.
It was like
I'm not
multiple
that.
choice, right?
Yeah.
So my dad even told me today, is like, one time the principal called him in and saying that, hey, listen, your son, he was mouthing off other kids because they're like, oh, Hindu, Paki. And I said to him, like, no, you're a Hindu, you're a Paki, not knowing what it was.
Yeah.
You know, as children, we're so innocent.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't
We know
at all.
nothing, yeah.
Right? But after that, like I remember one time my dad going to the Gurdwara and we're at our neighbor's house. Sucha Singh Johal, right? Best guy ever. Still around, kicking it.
What's his name?
Sucha Singh Johal. You guys don't know him, right?
No.
Well,
guy.
Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary. But he's out here in Surrey now.
Okay.
So this guy was like
He's acting like the biggest celebrity.
Yeah.
He's like
He has a podcast too.
So high.
So this is actually our next guest. He's actually coming upstairs right now.
He just goes,
Yeah. He's in the back room getting tapped up right now. So what happened was, so basically back then, I remember one time I was probably in grade 1 or 2, and we're sitting upstairs. No, sorry, I was outside. Outside, my parents gone to Gurdwara. We lived in a duplex. So just saying, uncle guys lived next door to us. We lived in the house on the other duplex. And these go to driving by in an El Camino. Remember El Camino?
Yeah.
Right? So what had happened was these guys rolled by. I'm like just a kid outside. No idea about nothing at all. Just like innocent, scared because, you know, I got jutti all my life. So I was like thinking, okay, roll by. They're like fingering us like this. Fuck you guys. Hey, you fucking Hindus, Pakis. And so Sucha Singh Joel's brother-in-law, his name was Pappu. This guy was a G. Honestly, he got deported a few years later.
Yeah.
But this guy was the biggest scrapper back then. He fucked up so many racist goated back then.
Oh, snap.
You would not believe it. This guy,
wow.
In Calgary. Back then, bro, even the cops were not on your side. Cops were all goated. There was no diversity in the police services, no diversity on the streets, nothing at all. It was just, you know, it was like, hey, you're an Apna, I'm an Apna, we're going to stand together.
You
there
know,
was so much more unity back then.
It's
Now you
so
see this
different
guy-
now.
bro,
Everyone
now
hates on each other.
people got to remember back in the day, everyone was together.
No.
you mean the uppity?
Upbringing.
Yeah.
Right? The struggles went through together. But now it's like, you know, we got ego, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man. Like, obviously, bro, I'm not one to talk. You know, I wish I made better decisions, you know, uniting people rather than making divisions. But what happened was when they fingered us in the El Camino, then Oppu fingered them back. Fuck you guys like this. They fucking pull over, they stop.
Okay.
Like 4 Gori and 1 Gori get out.
Yeah.
I remember this like it was yesterday. It was so vivid. So they get out and all of a sudden he walks up. They walk out to Pappu and Pappu tells his sister, who's Sucha Singh uncle's wife,
Yeah.
hey, hatiyar leke aa. Go inside, get the fucking weapons, right?
Yeah.
And she goes inside to grab things and they're like, bachyo andar chal jao. So we run inside and we're outside up the stairs on the window looking at what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? So sorry, before that even happened, before they sent us inside, the Gora walked up. He's like, hey, you fingered us? Pappu was like, yeah, you fuckers, you fingered us. We fingered you back. What's up?
Yeah.
And then the guy went to grab they grabbed bars from their fucking car. Pappu grabbed the fucking, by then auntie came. Pappu grabbed the fucking gutter. I remember the gutter thing like this.
Yeah.
And this guy was the most fucking delayed banda ever.
Yeah.
Like this guy was a fucking G. Guys today, they will fucking get other people to fight their battles. This guy was like,
Stood up to 4 people by himself.
this guy was like, you know how they say, like, you know, in Sava Lakse Ekal down, right?
Yeah.
That means like 125,000 US soldiers.
Yeah.
One sick fight again.
Yeah,
That's what this guy was. But he
that's
wasn't even a
awesome.
thing. He was a party animal. He loved his beers. He loved his Goriya, right?
So he was a real G.
The guy's awesome. Like, honestly, like I so much love for him. And then I still remember that time when Auntie
How
came
old
up,
were you guys then?
it was like grade 1, grade 2.
You're grade 1, grade 2
Yeah.
at this time?
Yeah. This is what you see at a young age. So then all of a sudden, like I look outside, they're like, under the children, under the young, get the fuck inside, right? We run inside, then all this straight fucking beef, like 4 Gore against auntie, uncle, and Pappu, right?
Oh, wow.
So what happens is these guys are straight fighting with bars outside for scraps. I see auntie chasing a Gora down the fucking block with like straight up. She's delayed too, right?
That's awesome.
God bless her. She passed away from cancer back in 2002. But bro, the most like solid. She's like so humble, so nice. But dude, she
threw it down.
She threw it down.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Amritsariya. They're from Amritsar.
Oh, let's go.
Bro,
Let's
they
go.
you know what? They don't back down.
Yeah, that's
right?
awesome.
So what ended up happening was, and then Sucha uncle, some Gora came in like this and struck with a bar, and he looked and then put his hand like this, shattered his whole friggin' hand.
Oh, fuck.
So then all of a sudden, by then, cops showed up, and the Gores were fucked up. Serapadia, Nakapadia, this, blah, blah, blah. 2 or 3 ambulances came. Only one ambulance was the Gore, and Sucha Singh uncle because of his hand, right? So what had happened was, scrap happened, ambulance came, stuff like that, cops came after, and I remember that night, Sucha Singh uncle came back later on, my dad came home, he had a cast on his arm and everything. So at a very young age, I was raised in an environment where racism was just a different level. Right now, there's not much racism now. There's so much diversity here in Canada. This place is like a melting pot for everyone.
You know what? You'd be surprised. There's still racism.
But it's not over.
But the thing
like
is,
it was back
they're
then.
very careful because phones. Ever since phones came out, people are like hold it in more because well, obviously, if you get recorded saying some shit, you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Which is good. They deserve to be fucking done right away.
But that being said, people deserve chances. Sometimes people need to be called out and shit.
Yeah.
But it's not like forever cancel them. It's just like, hey, listen, it's like, you know what? A penalty, you got a timeout. It shouldn't be like, hey, you know what? Oh, with that guess, you got back in 1979. You're the same person. No. People change, bro.
In Calgary, you saw racism and violence. In Vancouver, you saw less racism, just violence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
violence isn't just physical violence. It's like, you know, emotional violence and all that stuff as well too, right?
from the household and from outside the household.
Correct.
Then you reached, you all of a sudden out of nowhere, because Mr. Malik to you was nothing to do with the Iran bombing, or were you kind of,
No.
did you know that he was a suspect when you were growing up? I'm just curious. Did you know about any of that going on?
You know, you hear whispers in the community, but you just like whatever.
Move on.
But because you're young, you can't grasp it.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, you're very close with Mr. Malik. Moving from that, you all of a sudden got pulled into a trial. You were shocked.
Trial was 2004.
Yeah, but you got pulled into the trial.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk.
Yeah. Basically, in Khalsa School, I was unrestricted for a while. So I left Khalsa School in 93. No, sorry, 92 actually.
Are you good at math?
No, 93 actually. It was June 93. We finished grade 10 in Khalsa School. Once I left Khalsa School, I had no choice but to go to PM. So I went to PM, and as soon as I got to PM, it was a big culture shock. And
PM is high school. Grade 11.
Princess Margaret.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't know that, man?
Is that where you went?
No.
That's like John Oliver fucking Vancouver, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, of Surrey.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So started high school. I had a pagon still. You know, it was funny because I was 15 at that time, but a year before I went to Calgary to get my learner's license. Kids right now watching this can be so jealous because back then you go to Calgary and get a learner's at 14. So I got my learner's at 14 from Calgary using an address over there. And
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So
You had an address over there still? You guys still own the property there?
well, my pua lived there, right? So I used her address, right? So basically I've been committing fraud since fucking
I was
I was 14, right?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Shady.
Right.
Okay.
So back then I was just obsessed. I can't wait to get fucking get my license. So went over there, gave my Pua's address. My dad bought a Jeep back then. It was a Jeep YJ back then, sexy vehicle, and got my learners. And I drive around here and there. And
Learners meant you had to have your dad, didn't you?
you're supposed to, but you know what? Yeah,
That was another fraud. Okay.
Yeah, another fraud.
Did you have to put an L back then too?
No, there's
Like a
no
magnet?
L's.
You know
Nothing.
the magnet?
Yeah,
The
there's
magnet?
nothing back then, bro. It was so easy.
They weren't going to catch you anyways.
Yeah, it was.
You probably already had a full beard, so they probably were 35
No,
at the time.
dude, I had no beard at all back then. But you know what's funny? Because I came to Princess Margaret and I started hanging out with these, new people. Still hung out with Punjabis. I spoke Punjabi well. I gravitated towards Punjabis.
Can I ask you about that? You joined. It was a culture shock again. Third culture shock a little bit, or no?
Yeah, it was for sure culture shock.
And did people kind of look at you? Where did this guy come from?
You know what? All of us from Khalsa School went to PM. So it was like a group of 5-6 of us. And I was like, oh, these are like. So when we were at Khalsa School, we had a hockey team and we called ourselves GGB. Which
Genny
is
gone
like
bad.
Genny's gone bad, right?
Oh god.
So dude.
In this case, it's a little. Maybe it's going to be a little more literal. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny how some media outlets back in the day put it out as like, oh, Genny's gone bad because some gang. Bro, we're just
There's no way.
Bro, they actually said
are you
that.
serious?
Bro, the news said it.
Yeah, bro, we were just way after that. But bro, we were just young punk kids.
LT
kids having
Yeah.
fun.
But you guys came up with that name.
Yeah, we were 100%. It was our name. We never ever did Elton on a different level at that point. It was just Ilty kids saying, hey, Genny's gone bad. It sounded cool.
Yeah.
And we had a hockey team. We called it GGB. And then we got sponsorship from the Gurdwara. And Gurdwara got a complaint. They're like, oh, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੇ GGB ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ Genny's gone bad. We're like, no, it's Guru Gobind Singh's bache.
Oh my god.
So we're just like little punks, just fucking being little brats.
Fuck around with everyone.
Fuck around with everyone. It's like whatever, right? But we didn't see nothing wrong with it because we weren't drinking, we weren't smoking, we weren't even, going out with chicks back then.
And again, we're grade 11.
No, grade 10.
Grade 10.
Grade 9, grade 10. For GGB, I'm talking about.
No, but grade 9, 10, you were still in Khalsa School.
Khalsa School, yeah.
Okay.
And then, even back to Khalsa School, I remember towards, oh yeah. Dude, I'm just thinking right now. So Khalsa School, what happened was, right? somebody stole the grade 10 teacher's her whole the marking book. So dude, what happens? Mindy's the LT one. My dad fucking grabbed me. He's like, "Boli book it here." I'm like, I don't know. I had no idea about what
How'd
happened.
your dad find out?
My dad, because my dad's a trustee. So he knows that the science teacher, her whole friggin' mark book got stolen, and who knows where it is now. She can't fucking mark the whole year. So I was like, I don't have a clue. And my dad just fucking basically, I remember vividly, like, he taking me for a walk. He's like, listen. He goes, "Mainu pata tu kita hai?" So I got blamed for shit I never even fucking did. Like, honestly, I feel like my whole fucking life, I always got fucking shit for things I never did. Right? Because apne always like, they assume like, okay, he looks guilty. He must be. Right? Itorda kadaya. Right? Aki karda, right? Guilty lade, nahi kita hona.
You're a pretty confident guy.
Yeah.
You're confident though?
But-
no, like people, I know your dad, you had that relationship, but when you walked around your school, were people like this guy's in grade 10, like grade 9, 10? Were you like that guy? That
No.
guy that people were kind of like, oh shit?
No. Dude.
Were you nobody or you're in the middle?
Bro, honestly, how it was my whole entire life, elementary school, Khalsa School, high school, even like, after high school as well, I was known as a fucking nice guy. I was never a mean guy.
Really?
Bro, environment changes you. Things happen in your life. They shape you. It's not like you set out to be like, I'm just fucking some angry dude or I want to fuck people up. Bro, I was the first one whenever there's a scrap going on. I was always the one in the middle fucking saying, listen, guys, leave it, forget it. But sometimes when people are drinking, there's alcohol and machismo involved. People just want to sort of like, throw things at you like, you have something to do with it. But bro, if it was up to me, I would always rather have a peaceful night than some fucking night where people are getting drunk and being stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, go on. Yeah.
So what happened was basically call school, grade 10 finished, went grade 11 p.m. I started dating a girl over there. And during that same time, a week later, it was my first trip to India. I had never, up to that point, went to India because back then, before that, my parents always had the best of intentions saying, India pejna. But India was always like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of unrest there because of the whole attack on Amritsar Sahib, all those years, right?
Did you have how people sometimes from here go to boarding school in India?
Yeah.
They send their kids from Canada to India.
Yeah.
Is that something that was going on back then though?
Yeah.
Just curious. It was a thing. Not
No.
for your family, but it was a thing.
No, for my family, it was Khalsa School. Khalsa School was like a boarding school.
Okay. But if you
Local.
sent someone to India,
Yeah.
people did that.
Oh, they did. 100%.
You ever get threatened? Like in a boarding school page, though.
No.
I never got that.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
My mom would just say, I'm going to kick you out of the house.
Yeah.
The fuck boarding
No,
school. She's like, we're not
back-
paying for shit. You're out.
Back then, it was Badu Sahib in India, which was like in Himachal. And bro, that place was fucking hell. Like I hear stories now, people like cold water baths that said there's no hot water there, nothing at all. When that
Well,
when-
people do that out of their own will now.
no,
Yeah.
it's awesome, dude.
You're one of them.
I do it as well too. I enjoy
I
it.
try, but
I try, but I'm too much of a like.
it's hard, bro.
Okay, well, listen.
Oh wait,
Wait,
did they have? Well, we'll
I know
get
you
there,
have
we'll
to
get
start
there.
off by a little bit, but
No, listen. When podcast is done, right, we're all gonna shower together. cold shower after.
Okay.
So basically, what happened was, I go to PM, go to India for the first time, go out there. That's a whole different fucking story on its own. But 2 months later, my parents stayed out there, my sister stayed out there, and Mr. Malik's dad passed away that time, and he came to India to basically, his dad's ashes and everything.
Yeah.
So January 31st, 1994, we come back to Canada from India, all on the same flight together. Me, my brother, uncle, and his son. And I remember it's so strict because we're on the same flight together. But at that time, even in grade 10 Khalsa School, we wanted to eat meat because we fucking tasted it. I was like, oh my God, meat's the best. Bro, we would honestly,
Tales from the Nude.
bro, back then what would happen was McDonald's had a fucking deal.
Yeah.
It was 2 for $2.22.
Two for two
Bro, you
Hindus?
can't even
Yeah.
get fucking fries for
I know, I know.
$2.22
Wait,
right
two
now.
for what?
Two Big Macs for $2.22.
222.
Yeah. 2 for $2.22.
Did they give you panita on the side? Okay.
Machivo Korde, right? But what ended up happening was,
The doors.
yeah. So what ended up happening was but back then we started eating meat, but we do it in secret. It was almost like, hey, listen, it's almost like you're fucking.
It's almost like you're smoking weed.
smoking weed back
Yeah.
then. Now it's no big deal, but back then it's like you're doing something really bad.
Yeah.
So you'd go through Mickey D's,
That's
go
crazy.
through KFC. You'd pull over in the side in some corner and you'd be fucking eating.
Holy
And we had a code word for it. It's called tari shacking.
Oh my
Should we go
God.
tari shack, right? So we'd go and dude, it was so bizarre. Looking back now, it was so bizarre because the average person couldn't relate to it.
No.
Like, what do you mean you couldn't eat meat? Like, what?
No.
Your parents, like, you couldn't eat meat? Dude, my family, like, it was so, like, forbidden that, hey, you cannot eat meat at all. And if we ate meat, it wasn't like, hey, puttar, let's have a talk. This is why you shouldn't eat meat. It was more like fucking, how dare you eat meat? You're done.
You pretty much did. Crack, meth, cocaine.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, that's what it was. That eating meat was like fucking, it was like having fucking sex with a hooker in fucking public if you got caught.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's fucking crazy.
So what
I mean, that's technically eating meat too, I guess.
yeah.
Fish fillet.
A different not even fish fillet, bro. You're being too generous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. So what had
A
happened?
tilapia? What is that? Flounder.
Tails
Bro, you know what? It's so funny. Before we left grade 10 Khalsa
Is this a
School,
food podcast?
actually the summer of Khalsa School, grade 10 finishing. So me and my cousin, we went to McDonald's and there's about 8 o'clock in the 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening time. We go to Mickey D's and my friend picked us up and we went for a cruise. We go to Mickey D's and come back an hour later after eating meat. And my dad, being the military police he was from India and fucking being a corrections officer back in the day when he first started in Canada, he's like, get to ISE.
The interrogation begins.
Oh, bro.
Did he flash a light in your face?
Bro, fuck that. He fucking put us in separate rooms.
Did you do the breath test?
No.
Oh, the breath test would have been game over.
He wouldn't have that shit. Right? Not like it was booze. But he's like, get to ISE. I'm like, oh, we went to Cougar Creek Park.
This is crazy. 'Cause
Right?
the shit that we're going to get to, we're talking about meat right now.
I know.
This is actually the funniest story. This actually is this is awesome.
So you're in separate rooms.
So he puts me and my cousin in a separate room and trying to get our stories. And he knew something was up. He's like, you know what? Get to Gesi. I'm like, went to no, first it was me by myself. He's like, get to Gesi. I'm like, oh, went to Cougar Creek Park. He goes, oh, who'd you go with? I'm like, oh, my cousin Pinder. And Goldie picked us up. Okay. He called Pinder over and goes, Pinder, come over here. Pinder comes over. Pinder's my dad's nephew. He's terrified of my dad too. He gets in a different room. And now all of a sudden he's asking us questions he doesn't know the answers to.
Yeah.
But when he's getting two fucking different stories,
You know something's up.
he knows something's up.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Right? So he's like, okay.
But he's not thinking you ate meat. He's thinking you did something worse than that.
No, I'm not sure what he's thinking. You know what, dude? I didn't know what he was thinking, but whatever. It's fucked up. Like, who fucking interrogates their fucking kid, like, over some such dumb shit unless you have real facts?
Yeah.
Spending that much energy on something like that. So I'm like, finally came out. Okay, went to McDonald's. What'd you eat? Oh,
McChicken.
who paid for it? Everything, dude. One thing after another, and finally fucking came clean. And bro,
McChicken.
I'm like, dude, it was a bad night. It didn't end well. But after that, so that was grade 10. So now thinking from a perspective of like, hey, listen, we should be talking to Saki. This is what it's about. But instead, you have these fucking nuts who are basically telling you, no, this is how it is. Don't ask questions. You have no other freaking choice. So it went from that to basically being so suppressed and thinking, hey, you know what? When someone suppresses something, they don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
You're going to do it.
You're gonna do it.
You'll do 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially that's why you know what? Be firm and kind. You have children. Don't fucking judge them and be like, hey, ani kana,
Yeah.
just because you gotta have conversations, right? Sorry, my story gets always it's my pota chalda. I feel like I'm going to rewind all the time. So that was in grade 10. 2 years before that, grade 8, is my mama's wedding in Toronto. My second mama's wedding. Up to that point, I never went on a plane in my life. It was our first flight. We go to Toronto for a wedding. It was like 30 of us from here went for my mama's wedding. Mama's a wicked guy. Went there. Go to the wedding. It was awesome. I was 14 years old. And guess what? Everyone's like, oh, reception, Tejana. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
My dad's like, no way in hell you guys go to
There's
reception.
meat
Because there's
and
meat, there's
Alcohol,
alcohol there,
there's dancing.
and people are dancing.
Yeah.
Right?
Dancing's not okay?
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
bro,
it's,
nothing.
yeah.
Wait, dancing's not okay?
No,
No,
nothing's okay,
no, it's
bro.
not.
No, but how common is that for dancing?
It's, I don't
The
know,
dancing
man.
was dancing? No. I'm asking because my dad was a professional Bhangra dancer in India.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And that's why my dad's side's not really religious. Is that a thing? That's not a coincidence? That's a
Because
reason?
the way my dad guys were,
I've heard no dancing. That's not the first I've heard.
Wait, dancing is bad? Is against religion? Like Sikhism?
bro.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Anybody know?
Because you're
I'll
dancing,
let him explain
dancing
more.
to music, right? That's not Bani. Bani is like the pure scriptures. So if there's anything other than that, it's a waste. And then when you're dancing, people,
That makes sense.
it basically arouses sexual sort of, situations.
Is that what it is?
You know what? That's the only thing I could think of.
Or it's just like, I guess you're supposed to be dancing to something that's religious or
No,
whatever.
because dancing is totally against religion. It's opposite religion. You're having fun. Chicks are dancing. You go to a nightclub. You think they're just having fun dancing,
Nightclub.
right? Chicks are probably,
Yeah, but how many chicks are you gonna fucking grind up at a wedding reception?
Grinder. That's what Grinder was created.
Listen. Yeah. He probably doesn't know what Grinder is, right?
This guy's the number one user.
How did you know?
He's got the platinum account.
The
Yeah,
algorithm, if it's a deck of cards, he's always at the top.
At this
Yeah.
point, it's for free for me.
Okay.
The premium account.
He's referred. He's heard lots of referrals.
Yeah, that's why I keep dropping Grinder every 2 seconds. I'm
yeah.
sponsored.
No, so what happened that time was what was I talking about?
Nightclubs.
Now dancing. So
Yeah.
he says no
So-
dancing. He says you're not going to go to that reception
Because
dancing,
there's meat,
and
alcohol, and dancing, right? So back then, our culture was back then, even your parents, doesn't matter who it is, they wouldn't want their daughters dancing in a place where people are drinking stuff like that because they think, people are drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
poor decisions. There's music
You
going
were
on.
14,
I was 14.
so they
Bro,
didn't want you. They didn't think
was-
that you were going to drink.
Bro, who knows what my dad thought. It wasn't my mom. It was my dad, straight my dad. That's it. But his mentality back then was like, oh, no, they're going to get cropped. It's like, dude, there's no rationale behind nothing at all. Not like I was going to go there and fucking, I had a problem with alcohol. I'm going to start fucking throwing back pegs.
Yeah.
So anyways, bro, the biggest thing happened that time was, so everyone tried to talk to my dad. Listen, it's okay. Let him come to the party. We'll take care of him. There's no issues at all. My dad's like, no way in hell. So while the party was going on, we're sitting at home doing the Rara spot. You know what Rara is, right? So
No.
it's evening prayer.
You know what that is?
He's from Kukulam.
Yeah, he's from Kukulam, yeah.
He's forgiven.
Pogo.
Right.
Hey,
So-
dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude,
Rara,
you want to
Rara,
see
what's
you
up?
later,
Yeah, right.
skater? See you
What's-
later, alligator.
So what ended up happening was we stayed home doing pot while everyone's out at the party. So for me, the next day when I see all my cousins and everything who I had so much love for, they're like, "Oh yeah, that party last night was so much fun." This time.
How old are they? They're
So-
older than you or younger?
Yeah,
than you?
older than me.
They were
So-
drinking.
No, they weren't drinking. There was like 16, 17 years old. They're all.
But you just have fun as a kid.
Yeah,
going
it's
to
fun.
receptions,
No,
man.
I'm just
Yeah.
checking.
That's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
So what ended up happening was, bro,
But they ate meat. They ate meat.
I'm not sure, right?
They probably munched, man.
Yeah,
You gotta have a
I'm
little bit of
sorry.
chili chicken,
Okay,
bro.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
But they probably didn't have
Non-noon
to.
butter
They
chicken.
probably didn't have to hide in a fucking alley.
Yeah,
and eat
yeah,
it, right?
literally.
Like, fucking hiding. I'm like, fucking, I'll keep ants, right? We'll take anything I'll get, right? So what ends up happening was, I got fucking developed FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah, fear of missing
Missing
out.
out. Yeah.
You
So
gotta
now-
know what that is. You didn't know what that was?
I do know what that is. I'm just looking at you because
Yeah.
you seem to not know anything.
Yeah.
Grinder? Is that what you're gonna say next? Get going.
He's a grinder. It's not grinder, right?
No,
Yeah, I know
Do you know
Grinder.
Bafogo? Do you know
Yeah,
Bafogo? If you're grinding out. So what happens when you use Grinder too much? It's not burning out, you grind out. You just can't grind anymore. Your body doesn't work.
I'm dead. That's awesome. Right? So what ends up happening was, now I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck, I missed out on this crazy party yesterday. So now psychologically, what am I thinking? I'm going back to Khalsa School.
Yeah.
And like the whole time, like, fuck me. That's crazy. And then my mama in Surrey had a party for my mama in Toronto
Yeah.
for his wedding, a surprise reception in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying at my mama's house, and I went there without even my family knowing.
You probably had the fucking time of your life, right?
I do know it's chill, bro.
It's
I
chill.
wasn't fucking. I was just hanging out with cousins. It
No,
wasn't
but it's like so
normal.
fun because you never done it though.
Yeah, but I never.
Yeah.
I don't dance. First of all,
Yeah.
I fucking suck at
Can you
dancing.
Same, me
No.
neither. This guy's a fucking professional dancer.
Yeah. No, his
Wait,
dad-
wait, are you just
his-
saying that?
No, bro.
No,
this-
like you have to have the moves. If your dad's a dancer, you
Yeah, I
think
know.
you don't
Dad's
have it in
fine.
your
Dad's fine.
genes.
I never learned.
Yeah,
Bro, my
Fucking
body
actually,
doesn't move
I
like
never
that.
did
yeah,
put
me.
I can't even try to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
So, anyways, what happened was when I got back, now it's like psychologically in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, like what's going on? Everyone else is going to these parties, but not me. So now I'm thinking, what's going on with my family? Who are my parents? What's going on? Why am I allowed this shit? So now you want to explore more. So I started like basically doing a little bit more ilta, eating meat, being more rebellious, but under the under covers. Because my dad was fucking strict. I still didn't want to get my ass kicked for no reason at all. So when I went to PM, came to PM, it was a kuli shutti. No uniforms.
Oh yeah.
People smoke, people fucking do whatever. People smoking doobs back then, chori, right? And I was like, holy smokes, this is fucking different, man. I didn't do drugs. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't drink alcohol. But I was like, man, you know what? I started dating this girl. And then we went to India for the first time. Me and my family. December 4th, 1993. So we go to India. And when we go to India, it was my first experience ever. India was fucking just, it was nuts because you never experienced that kind of shit. Living in Canada your whole life, and first trip you're going overseas to India. It's like fucking flipping everything upside down. So we get over there. After a couple months, me and my parents stayed over there. But Mr. Malik's dad passed away. So we basically spent time with him.
That's why you went, right?
Huh?
Is that why you guys went?
No, we went there separate, but his dad passed away after. So he came there after, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we met up with him in Delhi. And dude, honestly, his dad, all of his inheritance, everything that the dad left behind money-wise, you know what they did with the money?
Donated?
Bro, he donated everything in his dad's name that was coming to them. They went and they gave it all away to basically, you know what the Delhi riots were? 1984? When Indira Gandhi was assassinated, right?
Yeah.
In retaliation of Indira Gandhi's assassination, they had the Delhi riots where all the Hindus were basically murdering
putting
Sikhs
tires around their head, lighting
everywhere.
on fire. Yeah.
So all the kids
Brutal.
who basically were orphaned went to the orphanages, gave out money everywhere, and basically gave everything to them.
Wow.
Nothing at all. Kept nothing for himself. It was nothing about greed. Like, oh, I got this, I got that. Everything was left there. And then they wanted to bring Maharaji's troops, Guru Granth Sahib Ji's, from there. So we took them on a bus and dropped them off at a certain location so they get shipped back to Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen so much humility in my life, right? Never once have I ever seen Mr. Malik be like, oh, you know, I'm this, I'm that. Bro, for him, it's always about community and moving the community forward.
Which is Sikhi.
Yeah, what Sikhi's about.
Yeah.
Bro, the reason why Khalsa School is so successful, has over 3,000 students, is because the ego was not even an issue for Mr. Malik, right? So what happened was me, my brother, Mr. Malik, and the son Darshan came back January 31st, 1994. So we came back and we're by ourselves. Khalsa School is in the fucking rearview mirror, right? Now we're at PM. You could skip. There's no freaking principal suspending you, nothing at all. And we started skipping and we started just, you know, me having ADHD. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't give a fuck about classes. I didn't want to do homework. So what happened was I basically got in a situation where I was like, you know what? I didn't want to keep my hair no more. So one day I cut my hair.
Oh, fuck.
You went somewhere to cut it, or you cut it yourself?
So actually I went to my buddy's house in the garage back in the day. Everyone had machines, right? And my buddy Jazz Sandu, plug him right now, right? Snazzy. He cut my hair at a friend's house.
That's
and
fuck.
Yeah, and then my dad found. I told him a few days later. People found out because when I first got my hair cut, I still put up in a bag. Went to school next day, and then slowly a couple days later, I sort of put it down and got a proper haircut. And then, then my dad found out. My dad's
so your dad, you weren't living with your dad at the time.
My dad was in India.
Oh, your dad's in India.
So we're living at the house. So basically, they came back a couple months later, and my dad's like, didn't want me in the house. He's like, if you can come in the house, put a bag on, talk to me then. So I chat with him. And I'm surprised that he never beat me up, nothing at all, no jutina, nothing at all. Maybe because I was 16 now. And he's like, either you keep your hair or we're going to sell everything and we'll go back to India.
Wow.
Including you.
Yeah, no.
Well, how would you sell him? What are you talking about?
No, sell everything.
Oh, sell everything.
No, including you.
You're going with them?
Yeah, well, I got to keep my hair.
You're going back to India to bring you back to reality?
Yeah, so basically the analogy he gave was, he's like, you make an investment in something. And after so many years, that thing you make an investment in isn't working out for you.
Yeah.
What do? Right?
You cut your losses then, I guess. Yeah.
So I was like, it was so bizarre because I didn't get, I sort of understood it back then because I just fucking believed bullshit.
You did? Well,
but now thinking back now, I'm like,
the way that
dude,
he's framing it kind of makes
sense.
I
He's
guess.
like, oh, I put so much money in everything, investment in you, all this stuff, right? My child stuff at that. And your child isn't, you know, I'm like, dude, I was 16. He's like, no. He goes, after 18, do what you want to do. But until you're 18, you're under my house. You're going to listen to my rules. Bro, that is totally counter to anything Sikh is about. That's the same thing that friggin' ISIS does. Either you become Muslim, or you're done. That's what my dad was with Sikhi. Total fucking BS. That's why people run away from religion, is because of fanaticism like this, right? So basically, I was like, I don't know what to say. I was still like a beaten dog syndrome. And I just told my dad, I'm like, I'm not going to keep my hair again. I'm not going to India. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And he never sold the house, but the business he gave to someone else and sold everything else. And they went to India.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're alone in the house?
No, the house, I was fucking orphaned, bro. I had no place to stay, nothing at all.
So where'd you do then?
I stayed in my Masi's house for a bit.
What happened to the house?
They put it for rent.
Fuck.
And they did leave.
Yeah.
Your mom and your dad.
Mom and dad.
How soon was it after that conversation?
That conversation was probably within a month.
Holy shit, dude.
And you thought you're like, oh, we made it. You're like, I made it. I told him and he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He didn't say
Bro, you know what? When you're 16, imagine a 16-year-old. 16-year-old's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
My son turned 16 in 2 months. And this kid I'm thinking this kid's fucking lost. Like, kids at that age know nothing at all.
Nothing, yeah.
They're so sheltered. Like, looking back now, like, yeah, fine, I can take a bus to fucking downtown, no problem.
Metrotown.
Right? Metrotown, right? But other than that, dude, I had no clue about life, no life skills, didn't know how to get a job. Back then, the economy was so poor, you couldn't get jobs back then. Like, now you go anywhere you want and get a job, done deal.
Yeah.
But hold on, your mom and your dad, what about your siblings?
All of them went.
Everybody went.
Everybody
Your siblings went
So
to
they pretty much
India.
just left you alone.
Wait,
Yeah.
your siblings went to India.
Yeah.
Your older brother.
Older brother.
You just went.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll listen to you guys. Wasn't he 18 at that point?
No, he's a year older. He was 17.
Okay. And they took him back.
Yeah.
So you were the fucking kid
I was
You were
the
the-
black sheep.
where they were like, you know what? We don't want this. So you must have felt like horrible. How'd you
Dude,
feel?
You know what? I still remember that day. Went to the airport,
They dropped them off.
dropped them off.
You knew what was happening.
Yeah, bro.
You knew they were
You
leaving
dropped them
Well,
off?
I didn't drop them off. I went with my cousins.
No,
Everyone.
but like
went.
you were there when they left,
I was
though.
there.
That's
and-
crazy.
dude. And I went to the airport. My dad went. My brother, sister went. My mom,
And
my mom, she fucking, when she hugged me, she just broke down crying. I broke down crying, right? Because I knew, I was like, fuck, this is real now. They're leaving. They're jumping on a flight right now. And I'm sitting here. Now she can never speak up against my dad. But what she looks at me, she's like, you know what? She's like, I don't know what's going to happen to my fucking kid. For her, for a mother,
Yeah, it's
her
horrible.
instinct, she cannot, for her, she's too fucking, battered, wife syndrome. She never had a voice, but she had to go about, had to obey what my dad said. But at the same time, she loved me as her child. And I cried. And my cousin was there, my Masi's son. I went with him and he took me to his place. And I stayed there for like 3 months.
Did your dad say anything to you
Only
when
3
he was
months?
leaving?
Yeah.
Did your dad say anything to you when he was leaving?
No, my dad's too fucking
You hug
too
him?
stubborn. No, I don't think so.
No, well,
Yeah.
your brother and your sister, you hugged them?
No, I don't think so. Right?
So you weren't really messing with them either at that point. Were they
No.
kind of like, were they also kind of like
No,
Mindy's brutal?
No, they're kids, bro.
They're like,
They
the
don't
same
get
They're
it.
age
just
you.
gonna do what their parents
Yeah,
say.
same age
kinda,
as
but,
you.
but they don't understand.
yeah, they don't know what's happening.
If it was right now at this age, then for sure there's love, the pay out, everything,
Yeah.
hug, stuff like that. But back then you can't. It's hard to sort of
So it was just your mom.
get the grasp of that concept, right? Like, hey, just my mom, that's it. And then I jumped with my cousin and basically went to his house.
What year is this?
1994.
Okay.
So I went to my cousin's house and got out there and I stayed with them for a few months and dropped out of school. Got a job at this cafe by the airport. It's funny, I go to the job all the time and looking back now, I hated this job. I was a chef in the back at this cafe by the airport. And during lunchtime, all these people come from these warehouses, everything for lunch. And these tickets would start printing out on the back, like, spitting out. And dude, fucking ADHD brain, good luck having things spitting out, do this, do that. You're not organized at all. So I was like, oh my God. I told my cousin, I'm like, dude, I want to quit. He's like, no, you can't quit. You have no other job. You're going to stay here. Massimunda, right? I was like, fuck. So about a month and a half later, I got fired.
Fuck.
I'm like, I got fired. He's like, no, you didn't. You quit, you fucker, you liar, right? But now I'm thinking about, I'm like, you know what, dude, everyone's got different skill sets. That shit ain't my skill set at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, things spin now, fucking, you got to be, you know, this sandwich, this bread, this, that, all this stuff, right? All these different combinations.
Ingredients and
right?
everything. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that, man.
How was you working? You weren't in school anymore? Who were you hanging out with?
I had friends from Princess Margaret still, I was still talking to all the time.
They were still in school?
Yeah.
Were they did their parents know that they had a friend that had dropped out of school? Did the parents did their parents know about their friends?
Everybody knew.
Everyone probably knew
Everybody
about this.
knew about the fact that, hey, listen, Balwant Singh's son, he cut his hair.
And the family did.
Bro, when I cut my hair,
And that's what they knew. They knew it was because you cut your hair.
bro, everyone knew.
Wow.
Bro,
That's crazy.
In our community, it was like, hey, it was like someone died when I cut my hair.
Wow.
It was like, Sonia, Balwant Singh the munde ne baak dale, Mindy ne
None of your friends had cut their hair.
Mindy ne baak dale.
Is it the Chugli of the year?
No, actually, bro, it was sad because people are so disappointed because I was like that. I was a nice, kind kid who just loved everyone. Like, you know what, you come out, give me a hug. Like,
And they were acting like you died, basically.
yeah, no, they didn't act, but just like they're disappointed. But at the same time, they still love me. Everyone had love for me, bro. Just my dad, except for my dad, had love for me as well too. But he just had that ego as well too, bro. Right? Who knows what shit he's gone through, stuff like that, right? You know, I'm not even mad at him anymore, bro. I just, you know, I accept things, stuff like that, man. You know, it gets to a point where it's like, hey, what doesn't fucking kill you makes you stronger. Right?
1994,
Yeah.
your parents left you. You're what, 17?
16.
16 years old.
Yeah.
Bro.
You're now, for 3 months, you live with your mussy, which
Yeah.
is your mom's sister. What happened after that? 3 months after that?
So 3 months after that, Mr. Malik's wife, actually, Mrs. Malik, right, who's like a mother to me as well, she was going for a business trip to Hong Kong. So and India. She's like, hey, I'm going to Hong Kong and India. She was, I want to take you with me, go see your family as well too. So I was like, okay, fine. So she paid for my ticket. We went to Hong Kong. I still remember that, to Hong Kong. Nobody experienced Hong Kong like I experienced it back then. So back then in 94, it was before the British gave it back to China. Hong Kong was actually a part of the British rule back then. So the airport was right dead center in the city. So when you're landing amongst skyscrapers all around you.
That's sick.
So you're landing and you're like looking to the left and right, like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking crash into a building. It was scary, but it was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. So went to Hong Kong for a couple nights, went to India together, me and Auntie, and went to India. My parents came to Delhi and we went to Punjab. And that time it was so hot. It was end of May. Bro, it was so hot out there. I was like, fuck, man, when did I go back to Canada? So anyways, I tried to go back to Canada. I'm like, hey, I got to go back. I was going to go back and start school in September. And it was also my Masi's Munda's, other Masi's son's wedding, August 13th of 94. And I was like trying to make it back by then, but my dad kept on stalling. And I was like, fuck me. I was like, where's my fucking ticket? And I realized that Auntie gave my dad the ticket, but I had the passport, right? So now what ended up happening was I had the passport, and the day I was fed up. 16 years old, I was going to Delhi by myself to get my friggin' ticket from the agency. And my dad found I was going. The day before I was leaving, he took my fucking passport out of my fucking suitcase. Jacked it. And I was like,
How do you know he did that?
oh,
Who else could have taken it?
no, yeah.
No, but you didn't know at the time.
No, I know after. He's like, yeah, I got your passport. I'm giving it to you. Straight told me, I'm not giving you my passport. Your passport. I was like, fuck, what do I do now? So I was like, you know what? I was a little bit stubborn too. I'm like, no, I'm going to fucking go there. So I went and got a false report made from the police station saying my passport was stolen. And then I was going to make a trip to Delhi to the Canadian embassy and say, this is what happened. Passport got stolen. I need my passport. I'll get my ticket. And it was still valid till September 22nd of 94 because it was a 4-month ticket. So when I was going to Delhi, the night before I was at home, my dad woke up in the morning like probably 2 o'clock to do pot, stuff like that. I went into his wallet. I took like probably 10,000 rupees. I'm like, I'm 16 years old, I'm broke. I'm not gonna go fucking hitchhike to Delhi.
I go, I need some money. So I took some cash, went to Delhi, and I'm like, okay, I got the police report, everything, I'm good to go. I go to the Canadian consulate over there, and I walk in, and then she's like, hey, what's going on? The counselor there, right? I'm like, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. My fucking passport was stolen. She's like, what's going on? She goes, did it really get stolen from the station? And I just told her the truth. I just broke down like, listen, I'm fucking being held here against my own will. I don't want to stay here. I fucking hate India. I'm dying here. I'm like, I've been sick as fuck. I'm like, it's so hot out here. I go, I got no future prospects out here at all. I want to go back and go to school. She's like, you know what? You're 16 now. You're allowed to make your own decisions. Your dad can't keep your passport. She sent my dad a letter. I went back to Punjab, and my dad finally fucking accepted that, hey, he can't keep me there. So I came back to...
so you got your passport back?
Passport back. And I went...
Did he hand it to you physically? How did that happen? Sounds like a pretty big
Yeah. No, he handed it back
to you.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I go back to Canada, and I end up going back to Princess Margaret.
Okay, you went back to school.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss...
No,
you're
bro.
still the same grade?
I was registered for school, but I never friggin' did school education properly. I just couldn't do it, bro. I had too much going on.
Even when you came back?
Because, bro, I had no stability, no proper house to stay at, no loving environment, nothing at all. I was bouncing from place to place to place. No job, nothing at all. Like, bro, I think I was 110 pounds back then. I was like so skinny. Half the time you're not eating. Like, no one gives you the love that your mom gives you, right?
No.
So, yeah, but I was still fortunate enough to have some good friends who, like, who I'd spend time with, stuff like that, go to the house and their parents would feed me.
Did you talk to your mom over the phone?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Yeah, I talked to her.
You'd call her because you would know where you are. How's she going to call you? You're going to call her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I call her here and there, stuff like that, right? And obviously, I'm not going to let her know my pain, stuff like that, right? But what ended up happening was, but then I started going out, hanging out here and there, stuff like that. I remember back then, it was the era of Bindy Johal. You guys probably don't remember it. This guy was in...
Well, I know about Bindy Johal. I know about... and
Don't tell me he's your cousin.
No.
He's my cousin.
Blood brother. No, well, I don't know what you're going to say about him, but I hear mixed things about him in the Punjabi community. I hear that people are embarrassed of him and think that it's really bad, the things that he did. I don't know all the details. Well, I do know some of the details. And then there's another half that go, this guy was doing the right thing for the Punjabi community, which kind of goes in line with some of the things you were saying with the racism back in the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know your opinions on him. You watch that guy. If you define it, these days, they talk about a lot about alpha males and all this stuff. Man, you watch Bindy Johal.
Oh,
that guy had balls.
Yeah.
You watch that guy, like the clip of him saying in the video, the airport. Not that I'm still around.
Oh yeah,
the one at the airport.
And his bodyguard's like, hey, you back off, or that camera's going right up your fucking ass, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That was his dad.
YVR.
That was his dad?
Yeah.
That was his dad, I think.
Yeah.
Or somebody.
I thought it was his bodyguard.
No.
Jesus.
Oh no, Bindy Johal said. I guess he said that. Hey, you better get the
Bindy
camera
Joel's the one that
out.
said that I'm going to smash the camera.
Yeah.
But it was his dad.
Damn, his dad was ballsy too, dude.
Yeah.
No, but
Bro, it's all of
but
it.
go on.
It's
So go on.
all-
So no,
it's-
but you're
it's-
watching this live. So your parents are gone.
Yeah.
Bindy Joel's starting to get in the news and stuff.
Bro, even before I went to India, that's when the Assange murders happened. First Jim got killed, then Ron. So that whole, I was 16, and all that shit on the news played out in front of me live. Like, I watched it. I still remember the day when Ron got killed, 9:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning, Kingsway and Fraser, right? Everything was like evening. You pick up the Vancouver Sun. I was obsessed with news like that, right?
Why?
I don't know. I was just
You weren't
intrigued.
involved.
No,
in it.
but back
no.
then, how they covered them was different too. These guys were on the news, dude.
Yeah.
Like they would interview them on the news, bro.
No, but he okay. Anyways, go on. Okay.
So what ended up happening was basically when I was at PM, so he had a few nephews. That weren't his nephews. They were his like brother-in-law's nephews, right? Peter Gill's nephews, right? And these guys acted hard as fuck. But you know what? To be fair, they were 16. They were bullies themselves.
Yeah.
And all the shit they were sort of projecting out there was all born out of insecurities. Even Bindy Johal, bro. All the stuff that he was doing was all out of insecurities. Bro, people do not act the way they do if they're confident in themselves. Right? If you're confident in yourself, everything, you don't need to fucking prove shit and be a G out there, nothing at all. Everything you see out there now with all these gangsters going around, shootings back and forth, stuff like that, it's these kids who have insecurity issues, right? And they would just want to have a sense of belonging to someone, be a part of a tribe, some sort of group where they could belong. That's all it is. It's about acceptance. Other than that, there's no reason. Anyone you know who's confident, they could be tough as fucking nails, whatever it is, and something happens, they just let it go. Like, whatever, man. You know what? They know they could fuck you up in a couple of punches, but they're not gonna do it because they're like, what am I gonna get out of it? They know it's not even fucking worth it. It's just a stupid fucking headache. You know, how many people you gonna fix? You know, if people piss you off, you could fucking spend your whole life fixing people. Is it worth it? No, not at all.
During this time was were Punjabi people looked at as a threat to society because of Bindy Johal and stuff? Because, like, I don't know what the black community was. I don't know what the Chinese community was. I don't know the Japanese. By the way, I want to say something. Actually, yeah, I'll say my statement after this. But was Punjabi people the most, like, intense people in this community at that time?
You know, it wasn't as bad as it is now because back then Punjabi weren't as...
There weren't that many?
Prominent.
You know, prominent as they are now. Like, now there's Punjabis everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but I'm talking about in a
gang context.
But violence-wise.
or safety, a concern. Oh my God, that guy's Punjabi. I'm scared of him. Because in the States, it's like, oh, this guy's black, and I'm that's what the, it's.
Bro, you know, honestly, how I see it, it's about energy. If you could have a white guy, an Asian guy, a Punjabi guy, but if some guy has fucking that energy to him where it's like intense a little bit, and he wants to just fucking, basically. If he has some ill feelings towards you, you can feel it. So I think people are more based on energy. They're not looking at color that much. But now, after all this stuff happened, yeah, I'm sure there was a few people who thought of Punjabis as like, oh, these guys are fucking dangerous.
A little unhinged.
But it wasn't that bad back then. But now over the years,
it's going worse.
Now, dude, now people you see people that they think that, hey, don't fuck with brown guys, they'll fucking shoot you, right? Which is sad, bro. Right? We're supposed to be people like, you know what?
Stand up
and be like, hey, listen, you know what, it's wrong, and fucking, and be humble. It's humility is very rare in the community now, right? Hopefully, you know what, things will change. That's how it is, man. It has to get a little bit worse before it gets better. So
Bindy Johal started becoming the name in the news.
So what ended up happening was I went to a wedding back then, and went to a reception, and Bindy Johal's fucking brother-in-law's nephews were there, these guys. And these guys are cool cats because they're like, oh, these are Bindy Johal's nephews.
Everyone kind of glorified them.
Yeah, glorified them, bro. That back then, it was like Bindy Johal was a fucking
celebrity.
Like, it was like your John Gotti's fucking, kids or nephews or whatever it was, right? So it's like you had a pass to do whatever you want. Right? So, bro, what these guys, and I was at this party, and for some reason, I don't know what happened, these guys fucking end up fucking jumping me after. I got boo-fucked for no reason at all at 16 years old, right? So I was like, fuck me, like, what the fuck is going on, right? So, you know what?
Jumped you for, like, take stuff off you or what?
No, I got
beat up.
Beat up. I got rolled on, like, fucking, like, you went to McDonald's on Marine Drive, and fucking these guys started chasing me, fucking punching me. I got punched in the nose, punched in the mouth.
Nobody else was with you? Like,
no, I had a few friends, but dude, it was that situation where it's like, hey, you were outnumbered. You couldn't do nothing at all, right? So even the guys that jumped me, bro, like, honestly, it was fucking unnecessary. But what did it do to me? It fucked me up psychologically. So one thing, my parents left to India, right? Abandonment issues. And now all of a sudden I'm getting fucking jumped for no reason at all. It's not my fault at all. I never fucking signed up for this shit. So I got fucked up. And, back then it was like, you're in that childhood, that age where it's like, you cannot show weakness. You can't fucking cry. You can't fucking complain. And I basically, bro, like, fucking only time I had to fucking just let my emotions out is basically you're in the fucking shower fucking crying your fucking balls out because you can't show your emotions in a fucking public setting. And, all the stuff, like, all the shame that comes with, like, oh, you fucking pussy, this, that, stuff like that. And, all that self-talk as well, too. You couldn't display that sort of, that weakness at all. You could get beat up, stuff like that, whatever, but you cannot fucking, how dare you fucking be weak in public where it's like, hey. So I had so much resentment, and at that point, it just started building up. And then I got in a couple of more beefs after that with their same little crew over the next year and a half. Yeah, his nephew, some other guys, stuff like that.
Was it because you were like, oh, these guys fucked with me last time?
No. They just sort of
They
fucking,
still were trying to fuck with
bro.
you.
You know what? Bullies, people who fucking are insecure, who are fucking inside pussies, they're gonna prey on the weak to make themselves look better.
Yeah.
So for them fucking me up made them feel fucking machismo, like they're the shit. But looking back now, like these guys are fucking back then losers, right? And I see them now, and bro, it's all good. Like, you know, even if they seen this fucking podcast today, they're not gonna be like, oh fuck, he's talking shit, this, that. They're like, hey bro, what's up? How's it going? Because they know they were fucking idiots back then. You know, when you do shit, you own your shit, you move on from it. That's it. Bro, and that psychologically fucked me up. Because I was a nice kid now transitioning to some fucked up kid who's just so lost in my own little mind, who didn't know like fucking how am I supposed to act, like
Try to figure yourself out. You know, is it worth it? Should I just be a fucking pussy? And you know, but you got that because you're so insecure, you're so beat up because now you have no family support, friends, or you know, whatever it is back then. And now you're getting fucking beat up as well too. You feel so fucking beaten inside. So what ended up happening was I went there for like 3 months, and my chacha lived on 64th back then, 64th in Windsor, and I go there, and I'm the new face. I had a haircut already by then, stuff like that. I guess I was fucking, you know, I was a skinny kid still. I had blue contacts because back then contacts were in. No way.
No,
no
Did you have frosted tips?
No.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't
You ever
afford
dye
to.
your hair? Oh, you didn't dye your hair.
Yeah, not back then.
You were just happy to cut your hair, I guess.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. So what
And
happened
eat some
was,
chicken.
yeah. Big Macs, right? Now I ate them out in the fucking open, right? No more fucking hiding in alleys. So what ended up happening was I went to jail, and dude, this fucking one chick that I was
Wait,
friends
what? You went to jail?
with, jail, John Oliver.
J.O. Fuck.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like jail. Trust me. Yeah.
You know,
Sounds like jail.
you know what's so funny? When I say Khalsa School, when it calls they're like Costco.
Khalsa School, yeah.
Costco. It's like Costco, like, you know, Khalsa School, right? So what happened was I went to jail, and dude, I got hated on over there too because I was talking to girls, hanging out with chicks all the time. I was a fucking nice guy, right? But people like, oh, like this guy's fucking talking this guy's girlfriend, this, that, blah, blah. And this chick started fucking having feelings for me. And now all of a sudden I was fucking
The worst guy ever.
worst guy ever.
Yeah.
Because who's this fucking new fucking punk from fucking Surrey,
Yeah,
whatever,
okay.
right? So basically, then after that, I end up going to, that's when I end up going to Surrey after.
Wait, so you got kicked out of school?
No, I just fucking
He's left?
transferred. Yes,
You
left.
made the choice.
Yeah, I made the choice.
So wait, how do you do that as a student with no parents? You just go to the principal? And say,
No, I didn't
wanna
go. No, I didn't. You don't have to tell the fucking principal you're leaving. You just go register at the school you want to go to.
They have one
By
of the.
yourself?
I just wanted this to go kind of off topic. One of the best places to go lunch, McDonald's, right there, right?
Oh, no, it's place shut down now.
Legendary. It's Dairy Queen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
What are you talking about? The one in Surrey or
No,
J.O.?
no.
No,
jail.
dude. Besides J.O., there's literally a McDonald's, and they turned into a Dairy Queen now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved to you just registered
Yeah.
Missouri.
So
Grade 12.
Yeah. No, grade 11.
Still.
I never passed grade 10. Grade 11, I attempted a few times, never fucking made it past that. So grade 11, I when I was at jail, I met this Desi guy. His name's Hiro Harjit Koman, right? This guy was a total Desi, came from India a couple of years before that. But me and him clicked really well because I love speaking Punjabi. Whoever I fucking hang out with, I always spoke Punjabi all the time, right? I'm like, "Kidda fir tera na kiya, this, that, blah, blah, blah," right? Me and him became super tight. But this guy had insecurities as well too. He moved from India, his parents. His dad drove a yellow cab, right? And
Sponsor us.
yeah, they ended up they lived in a basement back then.
Yeah.
But his dad would sometimes pick him up in a yellow cab from school, stuff like that. But he's totally embarrassed of it. So he'd always like he'd always hide the stuff with stories about like, like I'm this, I'm that, whatever. He had a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But the guy, he had a good heart. But what ended up happening was me and him became super tight then. And then when I went to Surrey a year later, he ended up using my address in Surrey to go to school over there as well. And then basically after that, me and him lost touch, and I sort of was trying to find my own way. All this shit happened with the bullying and everything. And after that, bro, I just ended up falling off track for a bit. I ended up, you know what? This is for another fucking podcast. This part right here, we'll save it another time. So what happened was a couple of years later, Harj met up with me. And he came out of nowhere. He's like, hey, bro. He's like, I talk to you. I'm like, what's up? He's like, he goes, people, are smuggling fucking dope to the States now. I'm like, oh. I'm like, what do you mean dope to the States? He's like, yeah. He goes, people looking for farms to smuggle a fucking, shit across to. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, we could fucking make some good money and we could fucking start smuggling dope. I'm like, that's a fucking wicked idea. I'm like, my pua owns a farm on the border where I grew up my whole entire life. I'm like, we could go check that out over there. I'm like, I don't know nothing about it. I'm like, let's check it out. It's just worth it. It was a shot in the dark. We go to my pua's farm and we go there and we told my fuffer, like, yeah, I'm like, my friend wants to buy a farm. I just want to check it out. Like, is it worth it? This guy's like, no, it's not worth it. It's a fucking headache, right? But we went for a walk, went to the fucking border right there where the fence was. And where the other side of the fence basically was fucking the U.S.
Yeah.
And then we went, drove to the border to the States. We mapped out to the other side as well, too. And then after that, dude, it was like, fuck, it was easy. So we fucking basically started fucking taking weed, fucking, stuff like that across
How
the
did that
border.
work? If you don't mind me asking, how'd that work? You'd leave it close to the fence, then grid it from the other side? Like, how does that work?
Bro, we just fucking drop off the shit, walk it over to the other side, drive to the other side, and pick it up and drive to the
This is Zero Avenue, right?
No, it wasn't Zero Ave. At that Zero Ave is different.
Yeah.
But it was about 5 minutes from there.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No. There's at the end of the property line is a fence.
Yeah.
And then it's U.S.
Yeah. Literally.
No. And then you would, the weed would be where? The U.S. side?
U.S.
Or
side.
you'd throw it over the fence?
Yeah.
You throw it over the fence?
Yeah.
And then drive over?
Drive over.
Okay, wow.
But then eventually what happened was we'd fucking just get one guy drop us over here. There'd be another pickup on the other side. And we just get picked up, the weed would be picked up on the other side.
And when you're crossing the border, what'd you say?
Where you going? Seattle.
And they didn't ask much back then.
No.
Now they ask a lot.
Oh, now, but the game's changed. Back then, you didn't know ID, nothing at all. Now you need like fucking.
That was before 9/11 and all that shit. When
Way
they got
before
really,
9/11. Yeah, things have totally changed, right?
Holy shit.
So
Okay, so you're like, okay, we can make money off this.
So now you're making like, bro, from being broke, now you're making even a couple $1,000s because obviously you're getting pimped as well too. You're not making much money, but still, like, those are the beginning of that was the infancy stage of becoming a fucking criminal. But the thing was, I never did it for fucking quick. It was for quick cash, a little bit here and there. But bro, it was more. I did it for because I wanted to be a part of somebody's crew, so I don't get fucking picked on, beat up, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, I was hanging out with these guys who I was fucking moving, doing stuff with, and these guys were fucking serious G's too. They were going out there, they were fucking doing shit, and they were well respected and feared as well too. So now when I went out there, places, clubs, parties, everyone's like, oh fuck, we can't. And a couple of guys tried to fuck with me during that time because they were still Bindy's fucking, dropping Bindy's name, stuff like that, right? I never personally had beef with Bindy at all.
Did you meet him? Did you meet him in person?
I met him. No, I never. I'd seen him in person, party at the same clubs. But one time, what happened was,
That's crazy.
I was at.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I was at a club.
That's cool.
I was at. Which club was that?
Zodiac.
No, bro. I was at fucking. Oh, at
Wild-
Mars. No, Mars. Yeah, like.
I was gonna guess Wild Coyote.
No. Yeah. So I was at Mars one night, and fucking this guy, Bindy guys were there, Balbutcher guys, all the guys were there.
Crazy.
And this other guy with them was there. He's like, oh, who you here with? I'm like, oh, I'm with these guys. He's like, oh, you're here with fucking this guy, Doc Bahia. Fucking the guy was a G, right? And he's like, oh fuck, that guy's a fucking clown. I'm like, oh, I go, he's my bro. I go, why don't you say it to his face? And then he was like, whatever, right? Because I'm here with fucking people. Honestly, young people, they love fucking jumping on fucking gangsters, fucking, bandwagon, be like, oh, I'm with this guy. Because bro, you know what? I was in the same position before too. For me, hanging out with gangsters, it was like I felt important. But it's because you're fucking insecure. That's what it was, right? And everyone's got issues, but this guy, obviously he had some issues too. He had to identify like, oh, I'm with Bal guys and Bindy guys. So I was like, then he came up to me end of the night again when we were outside, and he's like, yeah, I fucking started talking shit about Doc again. I'm like, I didn't think twice. I just fucking cracked him in the fucking face. And right there, fucking cops grabbed me. They're like, you know who this guy is with, this, that, blah, blah, blah. All the guys were there. And they're fucking, the cops are stressed out because like this guy's fucking starting shit with these guys.
Yeah.
They're going to fucking bury this guy. And then that night we took off and fucking, before I even got home, they already came to my house and fucking broke my windows.
Fuck.
But fucking kid shit, breaking windows, right? But the guy who had beef with that night, who I punched, actually, I'm cool with him up to today. What if I see him now, it's like nothing but love, right? That's why it just shows like, hey, you know what? Who you were back then, who people were back then, people change. You gotta accept that. And you have to fucking embrace it. You can't be like, oh, I got beef with you from fucking 20 years ago. It's beef for life. Bro, we're not the same people from 20 years ago. You have to fucking understand that, right? You have to fucking, be mature and be like, hey, listen, you know what? People change for the better. And people always change for the better. Nobody, as you get older, nobody gets fucking stupider and dumber and fucking more retarded. People are fucking getting more mature and more fucking, it's like, I see people all the time I had beef with back then. And so it's like, you laugh about things. And you know what? If I did something wrong, I'm going to apologize. I'm like, hey, bro, you know what? That was wrong, fucking what I did back then. What a fucking idiot I was.
Is there anyone from your past that like you would say like to this point still like I don't fuck with that person, I won't ever fuck with that person? Like you don't have to drop any names, but is there like anyone in general?
Oh, bro.
A few?
No, not few.
A lot.
No, not a lot. I could say confidently, there's one person that I wish well, but I would never let in my life ever again, right? Because sometimes those people, man, they come in your life to teach you lessons.
Yeah, I agree
right?
with that.
And you know what? You could give them fucking chances, third chances, fourth chances, and they never change. And some people, you know what, show you fucking in the long run that, hey, they're not capable of change. And you just have to fucking accept that, hey, some things are not going to be the same. But at the same time, you have the option of just letting it go, taking off your chest, and moving on from it, rather than being obsessed with it. Because, bro, look, what's the average age?
Like,
life expectancy?
Like 70s, I would guess. Really?
70, say 80, 85, right? Bro, I'm 45 right now. My 30th birthday was literally yesterday. So we're talking right now. My 60th birthday will be tomorrow. Life flies by. Do we have that much fucking energy and time to waste on dumb fucking shit? Like, we gotta give our heads a shake, bro.
So you're smuggling stuff through the border all of a sudden, starting to make more money.
Yeah.
You are now feeling more accepted
100%.
within a community.
Yeah.
You punched somebody out. They broke your windows. Kind of basic shit, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Did it freak you out that they broke your windows?
No, not really.
Because you're like, I'm part of something bigger than
Bro,
this.
because back then, you know what? Out of nowhere, now all of a sudden fucking, I had no backup at all. Now I have these fucking guys around me and we have access to guns.
Yeah.
So back then, bro, back in 98, no one had guns. But we're driving around. We always had straps with us all the time. We'd walk into clubs with guns in our fucking waist.
And they
Bro,
wouldn't check.
it wouldn't check, but bro, it was, looking back now, so stupid. Honestly, dude, you know what? The fact that you have access to fucking weapons, it makes this so much worse. Because, dude, if you don't have access to it, you won't use it.
Yeah.
Right? You're forced to fucking fight with fists or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna make a poor decision where you're gonna.
And no one else could get hurt too.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Right? But back then it was like, you know what? Because you're insecure, like fuck, man. You know, you look at guns, like nice weapons, like oh, this is. It was almost like fuck, man. It was a collection, like wow, this is a beautiful gun.
Well, there's a lot of people that collect guns that do it for fun.
Yeah.
Without being in the game.
Yeah, but they're not driving around with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you were driving around with guns. And it gave you a sense of belonging and also like
power.
I'm the shit.
Probably
Bro,
power, right?
It was power because I was fucking picked on my whole fucking, like, not life, but last few years before that. I was like, fuck this. Finally, you know what? I'm not going to fucking back down from people. I want to, you know. But, yeah, dude, it was just fucking unnecessary.
So we're talking now, you were 17, 18?
No.
Gun? 20, 21?
19, 20.
Okay. What year are we talking then? 98?
97, 98. 98.
Bindy Johal died when?
December 98. Yeah, no, you know what? Honestly, I never had personal beef with Bindy at all. Nothing at all. But dude, just when you look at the history of anything from back then, the whole crew that was like bros. everyone fucking killed each other after, right? You look
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
You look at Bindy, you look at fucking Bal, you look at
The guy that was deaf and blind or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
guy.
that
What's
guy.
his name?
Let's bow.
Bal, right?
Okay.
And there's another
Is
guy.
he still alive?
No,
No.
he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, these guys just killed each other.
Crazy.
They you know what? That saying, there's no honor amongst thieves.
There's no honor.
There, bro, I'm not joking. I never even knew the meaning of it before until like last decade. I'm like, what does that even mean? Now I realize, man. You know, people act like, oh, you know what? Oh, this guy's solid. This guy's honest. But dude, when you're fucking engaging in things that are dishonest, how can you even fucking say that? Hell, that you know, we're reputable or we're fucking, you know, solid. This that, you know.
Well, there's this whole culture of snitching
Yeah,
and death before dishonor
yeah,
and stuff too. I'm not in the game enough to know.
Yeah.
That's what they say,
yeah.
but it's true. I mean, if it's yourself or someone else, what are you gonna do? You're probably gonna go for yourself.
Oh, bro, you look at every case out there, every big gangster group, be it like Red Scorpions, be it United Nations, whatever it is. Everyone out there, it's the fucking biggest fucking gangsters who turn snitch. The guys who are at the top level, right? Who no one ever believe in a million years this guy's gonna be solid. That this guy would ever break the vows of, you know, of secrecy or whatever, of silence. So,
But there's also a lot of people that also don't break the vows.
bro,
Or wouldn't you say?
no,
Wouldn't you say?
there's lots of people that don't.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, hey, you know what? Not everyone is tested to that same fucking temperature, right?
So Bindy Johal dies 1998.
Yeah,
You're smuggling drugs at this point.
yeah,
I did a Google search on you,
yeah.
and you were also there was credit card stuff going on. When did that happen? If you don't mind me
yeah.
asking.
So that was from my testimony from the Air India bombing, right?
I don't know. It was some sort of article. that I
Yeah,
saw.
it was in relation to that.
But was the smuggling was also mentioned that you were doing it at some point in one of these things.
because what happened was
That was in the Air India stuff too.
because when I testified in the Air India bombing, that's when I was open game. They fucking cross-examined me for everything. Hey, you did this, you did that, and I'm like, yeah, I did that. Like you did.
Why did you say? Well, I shouldn't ask why.
Because you cannot lie on the stand.
Yeah.
No, but no. Oh, but before that, you had never said that you'd done it.
No,
Oh snap!
but because I was on stand right now.
They caught you on the spot though.
Yeah, because if I lied, they fucking could prove otherwise. Then
Everything else, credibility.
Yeah, credibility's gone, right? So I admit to everything. I'm like, yeah, you
Holy
did that.
shit.
I did that. I did that. Yeah.
Fuck.
So basically, they asked me, they're like, hey, you smuggle drugs. I'm like, yeah, you did it.
When was the credit card fraud though?
2003.
No, like was it after the smug? Like you started
yeah,
smuggling.
It was it's 2003, 2004.
Smuggling continued. Money was good.
Bro,
Insane.
no, money's honestly.
No, at the time.
It doesn't matter if I made $1 million or
Yes.
$5,000. Dude, that lifestyle, you just fucking piss it away anyways. It's just all you're doing is making money to impress other people. That's it. Nobody makes, I never made money thinking, okay, you know what? I got a game plan. I'm going to go and buy a fucking business. I'm going to invest in some property. No.
Not like 50 Cent buying like vitamin water. Or something.
Yeah.
Fucking scam.
Yeah.
What a scam.
What is he doing? He's touring now. 50
He's-
Cent's touring now.
yeah.
You gonna go to that? 50 Cent's touring.
It's his last concert.
Last concert. He's touring. Okay,
God.
anyways.
Who's
go.
50 Cent?
So during like your time, this guy named 25. This is his son. So you just want to double up.
Oh,
bro. Yeah.
wow.
He was having Fogo.
he was on Grinder actually. He's the CEO.
So, okay. So you're making money. You're pissing it away.
That's it.
But you felt good.
Bro, no.
You felt like,
No,
like
no,
you
bro.
felt like an
It's like, imagine you know what? You eat a fucking chocolate cake right now. You feel good
Yeah.
for 5 minutes and then crash after that.
So you,
But then what do you do after that?
You go
it's
eat
like-
more chocolate
Yeah,
cake.
it's a fucking constant just chase. That's it, right?
your parents are in India at this point?
No, they came back.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Did you meet them during this time?
Yeah.
You're living with them?
Bro, my parents came back in 97. They were 3 years after they went, right? And then my dad came back. He wanted to go back, but he had no choice because they called him to the Indian consulate one day and they said, bring your passport. And when he took his passport there, they voided his visa, said you're not allowed in India ever again.
Because of all that Air India stuff? Okay, that makes
So
sense.
now my dad has no choice but stay back over here, right?
Yeah.
So over the years, basically, I just, was in and out of my parents' house. My dad was still like, super strict. But at the same time, now I'm like, older.
Yeah.
So I had my own place. I'd move back home for a bit. And you know what? Full disclosure, like, yeah, I made money. I fucking blew it. But at the same time, you know what? It was just a facade. Like, people look at me now like, oh, Mindy made lots of paper, this, that, stuff like that. Yeah, bro, I made money. But what I do with it, I just fucking pissed it away.
Your parents must have been wondering what you're doing and where are you getting this
My
money?
parents knew everything.
Oh, you told them?
Yeah, at that time was after being suppressed for so many years, I got to the point where life, like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I do this.
What was their reaction when you told them?
Dude, they just knew. I never, like, it wasn't like, oh.
No, but what would they like say to you, like, yo, like, stop? Or like, were they just like.
Yeah. So this, that, like, typical, like, parents, like, don't.
But they're also like, we can't control this guy.
Yeah, that's it. I was too fucking wild by then, right?
And did your siblings, like, they were also getting older at that point, like your sister, right? And then when your brother was older, they didn't, like, say anything to you? Like, didn't.
Like, 'cause everyone's in denial, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, there's so many people out there right now who are involved in fucking drugs.
Yeah.
That they're making good money, bringing it home. The siblings are fucking cool with it because you know what? They think, oh, you know what? It's all good. Nothing bad's going to happen to our loved one.
Yeah.
But when it happens, then everyone's like, oh my God.
How did this happen?
I didn't know what happened. How did this happen, right? People in our community were in denial.
Yeah.
We think it's going to happen to everyone else except for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, what are they going to do? If they tell you to stop, what are you going to do? You're going to listen to your fucking...
Yeah, at that point, you were already dead set on
You're not
doing
going
it.
to listen to your parents. You're going to listen to your fucking younger sister, your older brother.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably that's another part of
Beat
it.
it, man. Right?
So they don't also have a choice, really.
Bro, you know what? At that point, you know what? When you're already knee deep into it, it's like it's too late.
No, but like, like I don't have that. This is an extreme we're talking about. But like, if my cousin, if one of my cousins doesn't, XYZ does this and it's kind of stupid, and I tell him not to do it, he doesn't do it. Well, cool. Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah. I'm not gonna. I still my cousin. I still want to make hope for the best for him, and that's it, right? So, or my brother or whatever, right? Yeah. So, okay. So your parents came back. They know you're involved in a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But
you're making paper. You're pressing it away. You're living with your parents again.
I was in and out. I have my own place. Bro, I lived there as well too.
You bought a place?
No, fuck. I didn't have. No, I
rented
a place back then.
Was it like Vancouver or was it
Surrey? No, Surrey. I was Surrey Jack for life.
Holy shit! Yeah. Were you living with some of the homies that were doing this shit with you?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I had one.
How many girlfriends you have at the time?
I've never dated a girl in my life.
What?
Yeah.
It's just full of shit.
Never. Not even during that time.
Never.
You didn't date girls.
I'm joking. I'm fucking with you, man.
Yeah. No. How many
he's on Grindr, man. Well, how else is he on that?
How many boyfriends did you have?
Oh, God.
No, like just was it like,
dude?
Okay. Let me talk about this a little bit. Like, it must have been crazy. Girls want to talk to guys like this, whether they want to admit it or not. It's the bad boy thing or
100%.
the BBG or sorry GGB or whatever. What did I say? Big Black Yanni. GGB. Yanni's gone bad. But like you must have had you how many what happened in the girl world? Like did you have you were the nice guy before?
Bro,
and all of a sudden how much did that change? If you feel comfortable talking about it,
dude. Honestly, like it comes with the territory. Like all of a sudden you're in the game now. You're going out partying all the time. Chicks. They fucking attract. You attract them like crazy. It's
they're just flying.
Flying to you, dude. That's why, like, honestly, I have a daughter now. She's a baby, but I'm like, she's not gonna have daddy issues. Anybody who's got a daughter out there, be fucking close to your daughter. Present, because you know what? You do not want a daughter who's got daddy issues because she's gonna be finding that love she's looking from a father that's not there. She's gonna look for other places.
Now, the way that you get this to be a good father, you need to be aware of your insecurities. You need to be aware of the reality of the world, and you have to face your own demons too.
Exactly.
And that's where this kind of goes back to deeper what you're talking about earlier.
And
and not put your demons on your kids.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's about ending that fucking generational curse. Like, my mom was super weak, right? It got passed on to my sister. My sister took a lot of shit from her husband and everything and accepted because no, idda hi hunda. But dude, honestly, my daughter, like I'm going to raise her where it's like, hey, she does not need to hear from no one else that she's fucking beautiful. She's going to hear from me all the time. Mm-hmm. Right? She's going to hear from me all the time how much I love her. Never going to be disappointed with her at all. right? People make mistakes all the time. But our culture, we're always obsessed with like, oh, meri beti kar this, that. It's like, no, dude. You know what? You only make things worse if you're fucking that obsessed with your own fucking reputation.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about your kids first. That's it.
So you're meeting a lot of girls. You're making a lot of money. Pissing it away.
Yeah.
Bindy Johal dies in 98.
Yeah.
You're smuggling drugs around 97, 98.
And 2000 comes.
Because after 2004, life probably changed for you as well.
Yeah. Oh, life's always changing, bro. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Life changed today. You sat down here.
Yeah. Yeah, for you guys too, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
what not to do.
Hey guys, if you guys made it this far, guess what? We didn't film or record an outro. So anyways, we're going to do it right now. So I'll hand it over to Raj.
Oh, I think actually Mindy had to go to the bathroom and we stopped recording and then we're like, oh my God, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everyone's going home.
Exactly.
This is going to be part 1 of a 2-part series where Mindy shares his story. In the next episode, we're going to talk more about the night of the incident that changed his life forever.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed our first episode of our podcast. Feel free to share this episode with whoever you like, and let us know what you guys want to hear next.